Good morning, children. Questions and answers from Jalebi. What were the two coins saying to him? Do you think they were misguiding him? The two coins were asking him to buy the jalebis. Yes, they were misguiding. Yes, they were misguiding him, even though the money was for the payment of fees. Urged him to spend all on jalebis. Why didn't he take the coin's advice? Give two reasons. He did not take the coin's advice because he was an honest boy. He was studious and had an image to protect in the school. He did not want to get caught doing wrong things. What did the oldest coin tell him? Did he follow advice? If not, why not? Yeah. The oldest coin said that they were trying to tell him something for his own good. It said that he would get the scholarship money the next day, and that with that money he could pay the fees. So he could very well buy the jalebis with the money. No, he did not follow its advice. Even though his mouth watered, he remembered the fact that he was among the most promising students. Yeah, he was always doing well in his exams. Also, he came from a well-to-do family, enjoyed considerable prestige. He had never once been beaten. On the contrary, his teacher got him to beat the other boys. That means he wanted to maintain that good status, yes. He reached home with the coins in his pocket. What happened then? What happened? When he reached home, the coins began to speak again. When he went inside to have lunch, they began to shriek. He was so thoroughly fed up that he rushed out of the house barefoot and ran towards the market. Although he was terrified, he was too scared. He quickly asked for a whole rupee's worth of jalebis. The halwai opened up a whole newspaper pile of jalebis. He put on that. So, why didn't he eat the jalebis he had bought? What did he do with the remaining jalebis? He did not eat all the jalebis he had bought. He had eaten so many of them, so he wanted to, jalebis would have popped out of his ears and nostrils if he had overeaten. He distributed the remaining jalebis to the children who had assembled there, who had gathered there in the gully where he was eating the jalebis. Yeah. So the fear was killing me. What was the fear? The fear was getting cut, and his parents, on finding out, would scold him. Yeah, he burped with every breath. There was a danger in bringing out the jalebis. So how did he plan to pay his fees the next day? He planned to pay the fees with previous month's scholarship that he would get the next month. Yes. So what is the time to pay fees? When it was time to pay fees, he tucked his bag, under his arm, and then he tried his best. Okay, what was the consequence of buying jalebis with the fees money? He was scared. Yeah. He started praying to God. That is what happened. He decided to play a game with Allah Miya. What was the game? The game was that he would go from where he was standing to the signal. Then God would give him some money. Meanwhile, he would touch the signal and come back. Yes. So did he get 4 rupees? No, he did not, in spite of playing the game. This is comprehension check. From which lesson, children? Did you get it? Yeah, jalebis. Yeah. So before I begin, I would like to ask you something. How did you celebrate Diwali, Festival of Lights? Okay, you celebrated it in a grand manner. Very good. So, these questions are from which story, children? Yeah, You got it right. It's from jalebis. So let's begin. The first question. I have the questions for you, all the questions and then all the answers. Okay, first one. Why didn't he pay the school fees on the day he brought money to school? What were the coins saying to him? Do you think they were misguiding him? Do you think so? They were misguiding him? No. Okay, do you think they were misguiding him? Third, why didn't he take the coin's advice? Give 2 or 3 reasons. Okay, you have to give 2 or 3 reasons for that question. Okay, what did the oldest coin tell him? Did he follow his advice? If not, why not? He reached home with the coins in his pocket. What happened then? What happened? That you have to tell. Yeah, the first answer. The teacher who collected the fees was on leave. Yeah, he was on leave. That day he was on leave. Who? The name of the teacher was Master Ghulam Muhammad. Second, 1 rupiah asked him what he was thinking about. He should taste fresh, hot jalebis. So what is the rupiah trying to do here? The rupiah is tempting that small boy. Come on, spend the coin, spend the money. Eat hot jalebis. They were meant to be eaten, so you go ahead and spend that money. Those who have money in their pocket can eat them. Okay, now the next one, children. So he told to eat them. Now next, yes, they were misguiding him. This is because the money was meant for his school fees. Yes, obviously, he didn't take the coin's advice. Money was for school fee. Then he was afraid of his teacher. If he got angry, then what would happen? He would keep him standing on the bench. Moreover, he considered even looking at something in the bazaar a sin. Actually, he's scared, children. He's so scared. First one. The oldest coin told him they were trying to tell him actually something for his own good. He asked him if he didn't feel like eating those hot jalebis. If he spent the money that day, he would get the scholarship the next day. So that is what he meant. Come on, go ahead, eat. Yeah. So, the next one. He didn't follow his advice. He thought that what he was saying was not right. Though his mouth watered at the thought of jalebis, at the sight of jalebis, he controlled himself. The reason was that he was not a common sort of a boy. He was among the most promising students, a very good boy. Besides, he came from a well-to-do family. So he came from a very well-to-do family. Next, when he reached home, he sat on the bed. The coins began to speak. He went inside to have lunch. They began to shriek. He was thoroughly fed up and ran towards the bazaar. He quickly told the halwai to give him a whole rupee worth of jalebis. That means what? He's tempted. Yeah? Okay. Next, comprehension check, page 68. Why didn't he eat all the jalebis he had bought? What did he do with the remaining jalebis? The fear was killing me. What was the fear? Children's stomachs are like digestion machines. Yeah. What do you understand by that? Do you agree? How did he plan to pay the fees the next day? When it is time to pay the fees, what does he do? How is he disobeying the elders by... Okay. Now, answers. He bought a heap of jalebis with 1 rupee. He ate many jalebis. His stomach was so full that he couldn't eat any more. Second, the boys from the neighborhood had assembled in the gully, the lane. That means lane. He started distributing the jalebis, among them. Gave to them also. It was a problem to digest all the jalebis that he had eaten. There was a burp at every breath. There was danger of the burp bringing out a jalebi or two because he had overeaten. This fear was killing him. Third, it means that children's stomachs work efficiently like machines. They can digest even if they overeat. But I don't agree with this view. If a child overeats, he will suffer from indigestion. However, Munna might have a different experience. Fourth one, he thought that he would get the previous month's scholarship the very next day, so he will be able to pay his fees with that amount. Yeah, he thought so. Yeah, so that is why he thought he must pay. He must eat. When it is time to pay the fees, he takes his bag, leaves the school, he disobeys the elders by crossing the railway track and eating sweets that warned him never to do so, because crossing the railway track could be very dangerous. Yes. Okay, now, page 72. What was the consequence of buying jalebis with the fees money? His prayer to God is like a lawyer's defense of a bad case. Does he argue his case well? What are the points he makes? He offers to play a game with Allah Mia. What is the game? Did he forget? Okay. Did he get 4 rupees by playing the game? What did he get to? Why didn't he pay the school fees on the day he brought money to school? Yeah, why didn't he pay fees? Munna, what were the coins saying to him? Do you think they were misguiding him? Why didn't he take the coin's advice? Give 2-3 reasons. What did the oldest coin tell him? Yeah, what did he tell him, the oldest coin? Why did he follow his advice? If not, why not? He reached home with the coins in his pocket. What happened? Okay, the answers now, children. Yeah. The boy couldn't pay the school fees on the day he brought to school because the teacher, Master Ghulam Muhammad, was on leave. The coins in the pocket urged him to buy hot and fresh jalebis. Yeah. Yes, the coins were misguiding him because the money was meant for paying school fees. Initially, the boy didn't take the advice of the coins seriously for a couple of reasons. He could not spend the money meant for paying school fees on jalebis. Secondly, the boy knew the harsh nature of the master and the punishment. He expected that he would be punished. The oldest coin convinced him that they were telling him for his own good. He can what? Pay the next day with his scholarship money. He should not suppress his desire for jalebis. Yeah, he didn't follow his advice. He was promising student. He was from a good family of repute. Family had good reputation, good name. He didn't want to get defamed for it. Did not want to bring bad name to his family. Fifth one, after reaching home, he couldn't suppress his temptation for fresh jalebis. He rushed to the shop of halwai. Enjoyed the jalebis. A few more questions. Why didn't he eat all the jalebis he had bought? What did he do with the remaining jalebis? The fear was killing me. What was the fear? Children's stomachs are like digestion machines. They can eat any amount of anything. Yeah, they can even digest stones. What do you understand by that? Do you agree? How did he plan to pay the fees the next day? When it is time to pay the fees, what does he do? Answers. Now shall we have a look at the answers? Yeah, we'll have a look at the answers now. He bought jalebis for 1 rupee. But he couldn't eat all of them because of their quantity, so many in number. Yeah, so not possible. He distributed the remaining jalebis among the boys from the neighborhood. He had eaten so many jalebis that there was no problem of digesting them all. His fear was that one jalebi or two would come out with a burp. It means that children have the capacity to digest a lot of things. Yeah, even if they overeat. I agree with the statement, but only partly. He planned to pay the fees the next day when he would get his monthly scholarship. Yeah. So, when the time draws near to pay the fees, he tucked the bag under his arm and slips out of the school. He had disobeyed his elders by crossing the railway track. Few more questions, children. What was the consequence of buying jalebis with the fees money? His prayer to God is like lawyer's defense of bad case. Does he argue? Well, where are the points? What are the points he makes? He offers to play a game with Allah Mia. What is the game? Did he get 4 rupees by playing the game? What did he get to see under the rock? If God had granted his wish that day, what harm would it have caused him in later life? Yeah, answers first one, children. As a result of spending his fees money on jalebis, he had to absent from school for the first time in his life. Yeah, he tries to please God with his requests, recitation of the entire namaz. He admits that he has made a mistake. Yeah, so he realizes that means, yeah. Now, then what happens? The game is that he will go up to the signal, touch, come back, and in the meantime, God should put 4 rupees under a big rock. That's what he's expecting. No, he did not get 4 rupees by playing the game. When he lifted the rock, he saw worm instead of coins. If God had granted his wish that day, he would have learnt a lesson to do no wrong. In future, he would have been like a bird and learnt no skill. Yeah. So, we learned so many things, children. Note down all these questions and answers. Go through. Bye.